Hi guys, Rose here with the Cackling Moon. This is going to be your weekly reading for the week of October 24th through the 30th of October. So pretty much this last precious week of October. And I'm doing something a little different. I wanted to do weekly readings instead of daily card pulls because the daily cards are becoming a little bit exhausting for me, and I really want to put a lot of focus and attention on other projects. So I will not be doing daily cards for the month of November. I may pull some every once in a while, but not going to be really going too aggressive with that for November at least. So I have a big treat for you guys. I actually have the Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. Leela Hell and I hung out on the 16th Sunday, a week ago, and she let me borrow her Fantastic Menagerie because I've had my eye on this deck and I really wanted to work with it and have the feel of it in my hands, and hopefully one day I will be able to come into my own copy. So she let me borrow it. So this is the Fantastic Menagerie, and I knew I wanted to use this deck for the weekly readings, at least this first week, because the last week of October is so magical. It is my favorite month of the year, but the last week of October is all about really the thinning of the veil and just really being in one with your loved ones who have passed and all of that. So I think it's just a really amazing energy, a very just spooky but mystical energy the end of October. So I really wanted to work with a deck that I thought was very just precious, and that is the Fantastic Menagerie Tarot. So thank you, Leela Hell, for letting me borrow this deck. And then I'm also going to be pulling cards from the spirit cats. So let's get started. So I think I'm going to do 3 cards. We'll see. I haven't decided, actually. I'm just doing this kind of random. Haven't really been thinking of a spread for the week. I used to do 3 cards for the beginning, middle, and end of the week. But I think I'm going to do a typical, like the half of the Celtic cross. It's like a smaller version of it. So let's just do that. I'm being very careful with the way I shuffle the cards because I'm usually very aggressive when I shuffle. But this is not, since this is not my deck, I'm not going to do the typical riffle shuffle. So I love working with decks that belongs to Leela Hell. I own the Victorian Romantic Tarot that she gifted me for my birthday, and every time I work with that deck, I feel like her energy is all over it. So definitely really powerful to work with this deck too. I just totally can feel her. Her vibes are so amazing. She's such a great reader. Okay, that's a sign that the cards are done. So the one that came out, we are looking at this is the Chariot. So really awesome card to pull, the Chariot. Let's see if I could. Hopefully you guys could see. I know the lighting is a little crappy right now. So we have the Chariot crossed with the Fool. Ooh, that's like opposing energies. And then the Magician in the Past and the Emperor. Wow. I shuffled these and they are like perfect. This is a really strong reading here. All major arcana cards. The shadow card is the Nine of Wands. Very interesting. So I'm really feeling like the Chariot card being crossed with the Fool, it's a lot of a call. It's a calling. Some of us, or a lot of us, are being called in different ways. There are signs coming up this week for a lot of us. And the Chariot is kind of like that urgency to move forward, the urgency to go forward with an idea or a passion. But we are being blocked by the Fool, and I think that this is showing the fear. We're being blocked by fear of moving forward. Do you guys see that? That's really interesting, because usually the Fool energy and Chariot energy are very much the same. And I know I can resonate with that myself. And what's coming behind us is the Magician. And the Magician is the ability to create your dreams, to manifest your dreams, to create your goals, your passions. He's like the maker, the magic of it, right? So you're coming from the past to that. We all know what we want to do. And I think a lot of us know where our passions lie. And we have the Emperor in the future, which is kind of like saying, I think he's saying, you know, to be very mindful of the decisions that you guys make. Be mindful of your passions. Don't be stupid about your decisions, you guys. Because the Emperor, he's kind of like, he is the father energy. He's a father card. So it's kind of like when you have your father or your parent who is, you know, guiding you. I feel like that's the energy of this card, the Emperor card. He's guiding you to make a better decision. He's guiding you to be mindful. Don't rush through an experience for the sake of rushing through it. There's so many like different symbols and meanings and, you know, lessons to be learned. Don't rush through it. But I think it's also the fear, because the Fool card is a fear of a new beginning, perhaps. Some of us are fearing that if we actually follow our passion, we're going to have to start all over again. We're going to have to do it all over. And a lot of us are very magical this week, you guys, with this Magician energy. The Magician is leading us. Very magical moments. Like I said, the last week of October is such a powerful, energy-filled week. Lots of you guys are going to be tapping into spirit energy. A lot of you guys are going to be tapping into just finding your passion. It's going to come forward. And as the shadow card, the Nine of Wands, don't let your obstacles hold you back. And I feel like with the Chariot card, you want to rush through these obstacles. Don't let them hold you back. But also, I think some of us have to pay attention. Some of us need to pay attention to what these obstacles are, because when we do that, we really learn a lot about ourselves. And I know I've been doing this for myself too. Certain obstacles that I face in life, I'm realizing they are there for a reason. Move this so you can see. Our obstacles are there for a reason, and we identify them as an obstacle because we have to learn something from it. So this Nine of Wands energy, what is this obstacle to you? What does it feel like to you? What is keeping you from reaching that goal, that desire that you have? What is your goal for the week? Is it something small and simple? Or is it a big life-changing thing? You know, for me personally, I am dealing with some new life-changing events. And going to be going through some life-changing events towards the end of the year. So for me, this speaks volumes. But for you guys, it may be something as simple as trying out the new recipe, or making the plans with friends when you normally would spend a night in, you know, little things like that. So the Spirit Cats, let's pull in threes. We got Intuition. So you got Ghost Kitten. So this is Ghost Kitten. And it's intuition. She is the light within us that helps us guide us through our life. She's always beckoning us to enter into our world, to dig deep, and to meet her there. If you are quiet, you can hear her whispering to you, perhaps about a creative project, this Magician card, or even leaving a stifling job, which for me makes very much sense. Play with what makes her whispers louder and clearer for you. Maybe it's meditation or sleeping enough, or taking a shower. Experiment with following your intuition and notice what magic unfolds. So Spirit Cat, which is really fitting for the end of October, because like I said, the veil is thinning this time of year. Lots of us are going to be seeing signs, communication with spirit, past loved ones, guides, anything. What is it that they're calling to you about? What is it that the messages are? And if you have to really dig deep and you really want to connect, little things like meditation. A lot of you guys are really working on manifesting things, and I do feel like that's what this Magician card is talking about. Listening to your intuition. Paradox. This is Stardust. How cute. Stardust. He is the convergence of opposites. He is the dark and the light. I wonder. He is a magician that turns everything on its head, pawing at the paradox. He travels the galaxies with his best friend, free will and destiny. No one knows where one begins and the other ends. He sees the good in the evil and the evil in the good. Within every blessing there is a tragedy, and within every tragedy there is a blessing. We think we know what is what, but Stardust throws everything into question. Let the paradox open up our thinking and our perspective. That's very amazing too. Good and the bad. We can't have the good without the bad. We can't have the struggles like I was just talking about with this Nine of Wands. You cannot have the challenges. Sometimes we have fears, we have blocks for a reason. It brings out other pieces of us. It makes us try harder. That sort of thing. And then the last Spirit Cat we have Guardian meets Lavendril. Look at how cute. Lavendril. Force. She can help you guard your mind against negativity, defeatism, and delusion. She's a shield that only allows the words and actions of people with compassionate intentions to reach the depths of your being. She keeps your true self safe as you journey into the depths, seeking understanding and healing. She's a master space holder. Lavendril will hold your hand in her paw as you cry, as you dance wildly, as you merge with all is well, as you dissolve and evolve. Lots of changes coming forward at the end of this month, you guys. A lot of us are going to be really finding the importance of what our passions are. I think a lot of us are going to be really thinking about where our soul purposes are. What is it that we want? There's going to be a lot of manifesting taking place. There's going to be a lot of us who are spirit communicators who are going to be communicating with loved ones or guides. We're going to be receiving a lot of answers. I think a lot of us are going to find passion in what we are meant to do in life and really facing the fear. Because I do feel like this Chariot with the Fool, this is facing fear energy. The Fool wants to go on the journey. He wants to. But he's acting as a hindrance from the Chariot, which is actually taking the journey. What is hiding, or what is hard? What is so hard about this? What is so scary about this journey? Why don't you want to do it? Why are you blocking yourself? It's a really powerful reading to do for the week, just for the week. But I do feel like the end of October is a very powerful time. It's really an important week out of the whole month. And you have that Emperor energy. I think that could be symbolized as somebody in your life who's just trying to give you wise words of wisdom. The Emperor is a reminder, to just don't be dumb about the decisions that you make. Be smart. And those of you guys who are going to be doing spirit communication energy, be smart. Be smart about and be respectful when you deal with spirit energy. So that, that could be a message for some of us who are watching. And then I think with the Spirit Cat energy, it's saying a lot of you guys are going to be coming into your own. You're going to be figuring things out. You're really going to be really thinking a lot about what your passions are and where your life purpose resides. And then I also think paying attention with your shadow card as the Nine of Wands, we have fears and we have blocks for a reason. Because if you look at it in a positive, in a love approach, not just looking at our fears as hindrances, but actually they are stepping stones for us to grow. So you have the fear of moving forward. Instead of looking at it as a negative, why do you fear moving forward? Is it because you don't feel 100% comfortable with yourself and with what you're manifesting? Do you feel like you have to spend more time studying your trades, whatever it is that you're doing? Does it you feel like you have to work more with spirit before you can move forward? Are you still trying to identify? Do you have these fears because you're trying to figure out who you really are? And when you do try to figure out who you really are, you are going to be embarking on that adventure of the hermit, that adventure of learning more about yourself. And there's nothing wrong with that. But this is definitely fear-based energy here. The last week of October, I feel, is soul searching, finding ourselves, but it's also dealing with fear. What are we afraid of? So this resonates with me so much. This is so powerful. I hope you guys are able to kind of put something together too for yourselves with what this means for you. Thank you guys for watching, and I wish you guys a beautiful week of October. Bye, guys.